hiding out in God's house. You think you covered, and you think you're clothed, and you think that whatever guilty stain that's around you, you have covered it up so God can't even see it. Matter of fact, you think you've covered yourself so well that you can't even see it. But what you fail to realize is that unless God covers you, you's a stinky mess. Because you can never do an appropriate job of covering your mistakes or the sins that you have committed against him, because the only one you're trying to cover it up from is God. Covering goes beyond what you think it is. God gives us covers to help complete us. He gives us covering to let us know that he cares. He gives us covering to let us know that he's on our side. He gives us coverings to know that he will never leave us nor forsake us. He gives us the proper covering so that we can walk with our heads held high, even though our heads should be deep in the dirt. God's covering. Once we found out that we were naked, that we have sinned, we tried to wrap ourselves with things that pleased us. See, the reason why the church is not as packed as it should be, not because we don't have the membership, but because our members have chosen a different covering. The covering that eases me, the covering that makes me complacent, the covering that does not mind laziness, the covering that says I'm still hiding out from God. Because when God clothes you, you can't but help to be in his service. When you recognize that God has covered you, you want to be thankful and show him how thankful you are for your covering. See, whenever I give you a coat, you might wear it for a while and say, yeah, Rev gave me this coat. But the coat that I give you will eventually fade away. But if God wraps us in a coat, you can be sure that it's an all-weather, all-season coat that will never grow old or never wear out. And so for that, I would be thankful. So therefore, anytime I have an opportunity to rejoice and be thankful that God has covered me, I'm going to make sure I'm in the place to let somebody else know. See, I got a testimony. Yes, sir. I got a story to tell. See, I don't know where your coverings come from, but mine come from on high. See, you're not going to talk about that fig leaf for long. And you might clothe yourself in things that you feel are not yet godly, but close to godliness. In other words, you're going to get something that's going to get you right there on the border, so you can hang between heaven and earth. In other words, I'm going to do just enough to make it look like I got God's covering. How does God cover us? Your church is a covering. Your church is a covering because it is an umbrella of Christ. If you're in a church that's not an umbrella of Christ, then you're not being covered properly. See, real clothing, real covering will help you reveal your nakedness. See, when you really get into the nook of the book and take a look, you're going to find out that what you wrap yourself in is not moth-proof. It's not